Most people treat their bed like any other surface somewhere to toss a jacket, rest a phone, maybe set down a glass of water before turning in. It becomes routine, automatic. But what if that habit has quietly changed the way your energy moves through life? Not in dramatic, mystical ways, but in the slow erosion of clarity, joy, or even financial ease. The bed is where your body lets go, where your thoughts quiet, where your inner world becomes more sensitive than you realize. It's also where your energy, what you carry, what you absorb, settles in for the night. When that space is shared with clutter, electronics, pill bottles, or even objects that carry memories too heavy to hold your rest, becomes less restorative. Your morning starts slower, and without knowing why, you begin to feel disconnected from your own peace. This isn't about superstition. It's about how your surroundings interact with your state of being, especially while you sleep. Just like a room filled with fresh air feels different from one that's stale, a bed surrounded by still, intentional energy supports a calmer, more prosperous life. You may be doing everything right, eating well, staying active, even working on your mindset, but still waking up feeling foggy, restless, or behind on your own joy. The missing piece might be right beneath you, or beside you. Tonight, before you go to bed, notice what's around you, on your nightstand, under your pillow, across your blanket. None of these things are bad, but they may be out of place. And that misplacement could be why your body feels older than it is, why your goals feel further than they should. Small shifts matter, especially when they start where you rest. Let's talk about what should never share the space where your energy resets, and how to create a bed that not only holds you, but heals you. Number 1. Phones, laptops, disguised thieves of vitality. You don't bring your phone to bed to sabotage your energy. You bring it because you want comfort, because it's familiar, because at the end of the day, when the house is quiet and the thoughts start to get louder, scrolling through a screen feels like the softest kind of distraction. But here's what no one really says out loud: the comfort it brings comes at a cost, and it's not always obvious at first. The phone next to your pillow isn't just a tool. It's a tiny broadcasting tower, silently pulsing, quietly signaling, never truly resting. And when you sleep beside it, neither do you. There's a reason you're waking up tired even after a full 8 hours. A reason your thoughts feel scrambled, your emotions brittle, your body heavy before noon. It's not always age. It's not always hormones. Sometimes it's just interference. Not the dramatic kind, but the subtle, consistent buzzing between your energy and a device that never stops reaching outward. Most people don't realize how sensitive the human body becomes at night. As you drift into deeper stages of sleep, your brain shifts into alpha and then theta frequency states designed for emotional repair, memory consolidation, physical healing. But the closer your body is to electromagnetic fields like the kind emitted by phones, tablets, or laptops, the more difficult it becomes to enter those healing stages fully. Think of it like static on a radio station. You're still hearing the music, but there's a background noise you can't shake off. And over time, that static becomes your new normal. Your nervous system adapts, but it never relaxes. You fall asleep, but you don't truly rest. And because we've normalized this, checking our phones before sleep, waking up to alerts, falling asleep to streaming shows, we barely notice the shift. But the body notices. The body always knows. That low-grade fatigue you can't explain, the mood swings that feel out of sync with your life, the anxious edge that sneaks in around dusk. These are signs of an energy system overstimulated, overwhelmed, and quietly out of alignment. And beyond the science of EMFs and blue light, there's another layer one no device warning label will ever mention: thought energy. Every video you scroll past, every article headline, every comment you absorb, even passively, leaves a trace. Especially at night, when your mental gates are open and your subconscious is listening closely. You may think you're just winding down with news or entertainment, but the energy of what you consume doesn't just disappear. It follows you into sleep. Negative stories lodge themselves in your emotional memory. Images stay behind your eyelids. Conversations linger like smoke in a closed room. The brain cannot heal what the heart hasn't processed. And if you fill your mind with digital clutter right before sleep, the clutter doesn't vanish, it just burrows deeper. Over time, this creates a kind of emotional inflammation. You feel heavier, more reactive, less resilient. You might snap more easily, cry more quickly, lose your patience in situations that once felt minor, and you won't trace it back to your phone because it's just there, like a lamp or a pillow. But unlike those things, it carries energy. It stores emotion. And every night you place it on the nightstand, or worse, under your pillow, it becomes part of your sleep field. If you also charge your phone overnight beside your head, the effects intensify. Studies may debate the long-term physical risks, but energetically, what happens is more immediate. Your nervous system stays alert, even as your body tries to drift away. That low hum of awareness robs you of full restoration. Your dreams become more vivid, sometimes chaotic. You wake up feeling like your mind never shut down. And here's the hardest part: it doesn't feel urgent. There's no sudden breakdown, no obvious symptom. Just a slow, consistent wearing down of your life force. Like a leak you don't notice until the well runs dry. That's why this habit is so easy to dismiss, so easy to justify. But if you've been feeling stuck in a low-grade fog mentally, emotionally, spiritually, this is the place to start. Put your phone to sleep before you put yourself to sleep. Let it charge in another room. Create a ritual where your bed becomes a space of digital silence. Leave your last thoughts of the day free from the outside world. Choose a real book instead. Light a candle. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not because it's trendy, but because it shifts the signal. It tells your energy, I'm done for today. I choose peace now. I choose presence. And presence is what restores you. Not the next notification. Not the late night scroll. Not the passive flood of everyone else's lives. What heals you is silence, stillness, softness. And your bed should be the first place where those things are sacred again. Tonight, try this. Turn your phone off 30 minutes before sleep. Place it far from your bed, or in another room entirely. Notice how your breathing changes. Notice how your body unwinds differently. Then ask yourself, what have I been sleeping beside all these years? And what would it feel like to finally rest alone with just my breath and the quiet promise of a new day? Number 2. Pills by your pillow. Anchoring the frequency of illness-keeping medication near your bed is often a practical decision. You want to make sure you don't forget your doses. You need quick access during the night. For many, especially those managing chronic conditions or going through recovery, placing pills right on the nightstand or even under the pillow feels like a small act of self-care. But here's something most people don't realize: what's practical to the body may not be gentle to the energy field. And when you make illness the last thing you see before falling asleep, you may be unconsciously inviting it to stay longer than it needs to. This isn't about shaming medication, it's about asking what kind of message your space is sending back to your subconscious. Because the bed is more than a mattress. It's an energy field, one that becomes deeply receptive the moment you let go. The moment your body is still, the moment your defenses are down and your mind begins its nightly process of repair. If, in that vulnerable space, your body is surrounded by signals of imbalance, bottles labeled with side effects, pills meant to fix what's broken, then your system may never fully relax into healing. It stays alert. It stays in something's wrong mode. And while your conscious mind sleeps, your deeper mind, the one that stores your beliefs, your fears, your patterns, keeps hearing a quiet whisper: you're still sick. You still need help. You're not there yet. Over time, this constant reinforcement creates more than just emotional heaviness. It can slow your recovery. It can create energetic resistance. You might follow every treatment plan perfectly, rest enough, eat well, take your pills on time, and still wonder why you don't feel better. Why the fatigue lingers. Why every illness seems to turn into something else. And perhaps the answer isn't in your body, it's in your space. Because healing is not just about medicine. It's about the energy that surrounds the body while it heals. And if that space is cluttered with visual reminders of what's wrong, it becomes harder to feel what's right. When you keep pills beside your bed, you may be unintentionally tying illness to the very place that should symbolize recovery. The energy of that bottle, its label, its contents, its intention is powerful. It holds the vibration of treatment, yes, but also of disease, of weakness, of dependency. And while that's not inherently negative, it's not neutral either. That energy lingers. It saturates your rest space. It becomes part of your nightly environment. And even if your body sleeps, your spirit does not feel free. There's a reason hospitals, despite their cleanliness and expertise, rarely feel comforting. It's not the lighting or the smell, it's the density of energy. Spaces saturated with treatment are often heavy with memory, with fear, with the subtle weight of people who don't feel well. And when you bring that same energetic signature into your bed, even through a single object, you risk creating a micro-environment that mimics the same heaviness. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't need to stop taking your medication. You don't even need to move it far. What matters is intention, containment, energetic separation. Instead of leaving pills exposed on your nightstand or slipping bottles under your pillow, try placing them in a closed drawer or a soft pouch that lives in a nearby cabinet. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about shifting the signal. You're telling your subconscious, I'm aware of my healing, but I do not center my identity around it. I am treating something, but I am not defined by it. And this small act can begin to restore a sense of hope, strength, and possibility. If you need extra support, place a symbol of wellness beside your bed instead. A crystal with clear energy like quartz or selenite. A photo of yourself in a time you felt radiant and whole. A soft piece of fabric that feels calming to the touch. Something that carries the vibration of life, not just survival. The truth is, your body is already trying to heal. Every night it works quietly, relentlessly, to mend what hurts. But your energy, the environment you sleep in, can either support that work or get in the way. When your healing space becomes a reminder of illness, rest becomes labor. Recovery becomes slower. And over time, that delay takes its toll, not just physically, but emotionally. You begin to feel like healing is always just around the corner, never truly yours. You start questioning yourself, your progress, your path. But maybe it's not your fault. Maybe you've just never been told that your bed, the very place where healing is supposed to happen, has been absorbing the wrong signal all along. You don't need rituals or remedies to start shifting this. You just need a little more space between who you are and what you're treating. Tonight, before you sleep, glance at what's beside you. Does it say I'm sick, or does it say I'm healing? The difference is everything, because your body listens, and your spirit always answers to the energy around it. Number 3. Keepsakes of the departed. Energy that hasn't moved on. Some items are kept for love, others for memory. A few, simply because you didn't have the heart to put them away. A folded blanket that belonged to him. A bracelet she used to wear. A stuffed animal from a grandchild who never made it past infancy. We hold on to these things because they remind us of love, real, deep, irreplaceable love. But what no one tells you is this: the same object that brings you warmth during the day may also keep your energy tethered to sorrow during the night. The bedroom is not just a place where the body rests. It is where the spirit opens, where emotion softens, where memory becomes more vivid than we'd like to admit. And when your bed, your most vulnerable, receptive space, is shared with a keepsake from someone who has passed, the energy of that connection doesn't always sleep peacefully. You may not notice it at first, but the signs are quiet and persistent. Dreams filled with their face, or strange whispers you hear before you fully drift off. A room that feels colder than the rest of the house, even with the heat on. A feeling of being watched, not in fear, but in heaviness. It's not because they're haunting you. It's not because something is wrong. It's because the energy hasn't moved on, and neither have you. The objects we inherit or choose to keep absorb the imprint of the emotions they once lived through. If your loved one passed away with pain, regret, or unresolved fear, that vibration can remain in what they left behind. A scarf is no longer just a scarf. It's a thread of a story that never got to finish. When we place those stories on our bed, we unintentionally reopen layers of grief. Instead of resting, our energy re-engages with what we've lost. Our dreams become doorways we didn't mean to open. Our hearts wake up heavier, though the night was quiet. And sometimes, we wonder why joy feels distant, why a deep part of us still aches, even after all these years. It's not because we haven't healed. It's because healing needs space to breathe. And if your sleeping space is crowded with old emotions, no matter how lovingly kept, your present can't fully unfold. This is not about forgetting. It's not about tossing memories away. It's about choosing where you place your love so it lifts you instead of weighing you down. Instead of letting these objects live on your bed or beside your pillow, consider creating a space of reverence. A small memory box, a shelf with soft lighting, a corner of your home where their energy is honored but not entangled with your rest. Let your bed be for now. Let memory have its own place, one that supports your healing rather than interrupts it. And if parting with the object feels too painful, begin with intention. Wrap it in cloth, place it in a drawer. Say out loud, "Thank you for everything you held. I remember you, I love you, but I choose to rest in the present." Energy responds to clarity. And when you give that energy a direction, it settles. It no longer needs to call for your attention through strange dreams or unexplained tension. You are not abandoning them. You're simply choosing to carry them in a way that lets you breathe easier. Because love is not a tether. Love is light. And if the weight of an item makes your spirit feel heavier, that is not love anymore. That is memory needing rest. And you deserve that too. You deserve a night of sleep unclouded by yesterday's sorrow. You deserve to wake up with lightness in your chest, not a shadow on your heart. You deserve a bed that welcomes life, not the silence of things lost. Tonight, glance gently at what you've kept. Ask yourself, is this helping me feel close, or is it keeping me from moving forward? Let that answer guide your next step. Because grief may stay forever, but the way we carry it can change everything. Number 4. Food in bed. Energy of motion. Where stillness should be, eating in bed is rarely intentional. It starts as something small, a cookie while reading, a cup of tea before sleep, a late-night snack during a quiet movie. It feels cozy, indulgent, maybe even well-deserved. After all, the bed is a place of comfort. So why not enjoy comfort food there too? But here's something most people never consider. Food is not just physical substance. It's energy in motion. It's meant to be consumed, digested, transformed. It's designed for active engagement, not quiet rest. And when food enters a space intended for stillness, it brings with it the residue of everything it touched, where it came from, how it was made, the mood you were in when you ate it. Over time, those traces accumulate, not just as crumbs or smells, but as stagnant energy that lingers in the very fabric of your bed. This isn't about being neat or tidy. It's about understanding what kind of atmosphere your sleep is steeped in. Food carries vibration, it holds memory. It absorbs the emotion of its environment. A hurried dinner, a guilty dessert, a lonely snack in the dark. Those emotions don't disappear once the plate is cleared. They settle into your sheets, your pillow, your skin. The bedroom, especially the bed, is a sacred space of recalibration. It's where your nervous system resets, where your emotional weight is released, where your energy field quiets and repairs. But when the room smells faintly of leftovers, or your blanket has absorbed the grease from fingers wiped between bites, your body doesn't fully relax. It stays slightly activated, slightly off, slightly distracted. You may fall asleep, but you'll likely dream in fragments, wake up bloated, or feel mentally foggy before the day even begins. These symptoms are so subtle, they're easy to miss, but they add up, and eventually, your energy becomes dull, directionless, a little heavier than it used to be. And if you've ever felt like your progress in life is slower than it should be, financially, emotionally, spiritually, your sleep space might be the place to investigate. Because just as food fuels the body, energy fuels everything else. And if the energy of your bed is cluttered with crumbs, moisture, and emotional residue from meals meant for other rooms, then the place you turn to for rest no longer functions as a place of restoration. In some spiritual traditions, leftover food is believed to attract wandering spirits, energies that don't belong, but find a home in neglected corners. Whether or not you believe in that, the metaphor remains true. Food invites activity. And when you allow that activity into the stillness of your bed, you invite disruption into your restoration. It's the same reason most people wouldn't eat inside a church or temple. There's an intuitive understanding that some spaces aren't meant for digestion. They're meant for stillness, for prayer, for silence. And your bed, though often overlooked, is one of those spaces. When you treat it like a dining table, it stops functioning as a sanctuary. The solution isn't complicated. You don't need to be extreme. You simply need to pause. Ask yourself, is this bite coming from hunger or from habit? From nourishment or from emotional noise? If you need a bedtime snack, have it at the kitchen table. Light a candle, make it sacred. Let it be its own ritual, separate from the one your bed is meant to hold. And when you're done, take a moment to cleanse your space. Open a window, let air move through. Use essential oils with citrus or mint. Shake out your blanket. Give your sleep a clean landing place. It's less about crumbs and more about vibration. Less about rules and more about respect. Respect for the energy your body needs to heal. Respect for the sanctuary your bed is supposed to be. Because when you protect the stillness of that space, something inside you begins to shift. You sleep deeper, wake clearer, think more gently, feel more grounded. And in that soft clarity, your life begins to move differently. You no longer feel stuck in your head or heavy in your chest. Decisions come easier, emotions feel lighter, opportunities begin to stick instead of slip. That's not magic, that's energy alignment. And it starts with something as small as keeping food where it belongs and sleep where it heals. Tonight, before you lie down, notice the air around your bed. Is it fresh? Is it neutral? Or does it still carry the memory of something you consumed in silence, trying to comfort yourself through taste? You deserve a sleep space that doesn't smell like yesterday's meal. You deserve stillness that holds no crumbs. You deserve to wake up in a bed that feels like a clean breath, not a crowded table. And your energy quiet, tender, listening deserves a space that lets it rest without interruption. Number 5. Dirty or borrowed clothes. Carrying the day back into bed, it seems innocent. You come home tired, slip off your jacket, or toss a worn shirt onto the bed as you change into something soft. Maybe the pants you wore while running errands. Maybe a sweater borrowed from your daughter. Just for a moment, you tell yourself, I'll fold it later. I'll put it away before I sleep. But most nights it stays, and so does the energy it carries. Clothes are not just fabric. They are extensions of the body. They touch skin, absorb sweat, hold heat, catch the scent of places you've been: the grocery store, the hospital, the waiting room, the sidewalk full of strangers. What we wear moves through moments, and those moments' emotions, tensions, moods cling to the threads. When you place them on your bed, especially near the pillows or the place you lay your chest, you're inviting the residue of the day to merge with the sanctuary of your rest. It's not about dirt, it's about energy. That shirt might be clean enough to wear again. But what about the argument you had while wearing it? The worry you carried through the afternoon? The pressure in your shoulders, the tight breath in your chest still caught in the seams? And now, that energy is settling into the place where your body needs to release, soften, surrender. But it can't, because what you just took off never really left. Even more subtly, clothes worn by others, borrowed sweaters, secondhand scarves, even freshly washed items carry the emotional frequency of the person who wore them. Clothes, especially those made of natural fibers, hold energetic imprints. Joy, anxiety, grief, they all linger, like perfume that doesn't fully fade. And if someone else's burden lives in those fibers, and you toss that garment onto your bed without thinking, your own body begins to absorb what doesn't belong to you. Have you ever woken up irritable without reason, or felt emotionally off after a perfectly calm night? Sometimes that shift isn't coming from within. Sometimes it's coming from the quiet presence of something or someone you let into your bed space without noticing. In energy work, the bed is seen as a reflective pool. It absorbs, it mirrors, it gives back what you place upon it. When you pile clothes, especially unwashed or emotionally charged ones, onto your bed, you interrupt that mirror's surface. The energy becomes mudded, distorted, and the feedback loop of rest and renewal breaks. Sleep becomes shallow. Emotions feel unprocessed. You wake up feeling like you've carried something through the night, even if your body never moved. And you have. You've carried the day, the tension, the interactions, the unresolved, all folded neatly in the folds of a jacket left where you lay your head. The solution isn't dramatic. You don't need a new routine. You just need a new awareness. Begin by pausing just for a few seconds when you take off your clothes at night. Ask yourself, what did I feel while wearing this? Is that something I want to bring into my sleep? If the answer is no, put it somewhere else, not on the bed, not even at the foot of it. Use a designated basket, a soft chair, a corner that doesn't touch your sleep zone. If you're borrowing someone's clothing, even someone you love, consider giving it a gentle energetic reset before letting it near your bed. Leave it in sunlight for a few hours. Mist it with lavender or sage water. Hold it in your hands and say, this is safe now. This is mine to rest with. These small actions may seem symbolic, but energy understands intention. And when you begin treating your clothes with that kind of awareness, your body begins to trust the space around it again. It lets go more easily. Dreams become smoother. Mornings feel lighter. And over time, the act of entering your bed becomes a quiet ceremony, one that separates the noise of the world from the quiet of your own becoming. Your bed is not a laundry basket. It is not a temporary shelf. It is a field of healing. A place where everything old should fall away. And that includes the version of you that fought through the day. You deserve to enter rest clean, not just in body, but in energy. Tonight, before you sleep, take a look around. What's lying on the edge of your mattress, half folded, half forgotten? What memory does it hold? What weight does it carry? Then ask yourself the question no one taught us to ask: do I really want to sleep with that? Number 6. Wallets, cards. When wealth has no safe place, money isn't just paper. A wallet isn't just storage. And where you leave them says more about your relationship with abundance than you might think. Most people don't overthink it. You come home, toss your purse on the bed, drop your wallet near your pillow, maybe set your credit cards down while getting changed. It's a small habit, barely noticeable. But when you do it night after night, the message becomes clear even if you never speak it out loud. I don't really know where my money belongs. In energy work, placement matters, especially when it comes to symbols of value. Your wallet holds more than cash. It contains identity, intention, memory, receipts from things you've invested in, cards that connect to your bank, your future, your debt. And when all of that is placed casually on a surface meant for rest, it begins to lose energetic integrity. You don't feel it at first, but slowly a pattern emerges. You start feeling like money leaves faster than it arrives. That no matter how much you try to save, it slips away. That your financial life has no weight, like it's floating, unstable, just out of reach. You might even begin to carry emotional tension around money. Anxiety when checking your bank app, guilt when spending. A low hum of unease that colors every decision. Not because of numbers, but because of energy. Your bed is a space of softness, emotion, vulnerability. Money, on the other hand, thrives in clarity, structure, groundedness. When you place the two together, rest and resource without intention, their vibrations clash. Rest becomes restless, wealth becomes weightless. Think of it this way: would you leave gold bars in a sandbox? Probably not. Yet many of us leave our financial energy in the soft, shifting field of our beds, then wonder why it never feels safe, steady, or respected. Even more subtly, the contents of your wallet carry their own emotional charge. An overdue bill, a photo that reminds you of loss, a loyalty card to a store you no longer visit. When you bring those vibrations into your sleeping space, especially near your heart or head, they don't just sit there. They speak. They whisper stories of lack, of confusion, of things unresolved. And while you sleep, while your subconscious opens, those stories settle in. They begin shaping how you think about money, how you receive it, how you hold it. Over time, your inner belief shifts from "I am safe with money" to "money feels chaotic, uncertain, unsafe." And belief, as we know, creates experience. The good news: you can shift all of this gently, simply by creating a new home for your wealth. Begin by choosing a consistent, grounded place for your wallet or purse. A drawer, a box, a small shelf near your entryway. Somewhere that feels stable. Not your bed, not your nightstand, not under the pillow just for tonight. If you want to deepen this practice, choose a small object that symbolizes security: a piece of hematite stone, a smooth river rock, a metal bowl, and let your wallet rest beside it. You're telling your energy, my wealth belongs somewhere intentional, somewhere clear, somewhere still. If you like rituals, you can go further. Clean out your wallet once a week. Remove old receipts, expired cards, anything that carries the past. Keep only what serves your future. You're not just organizing paper, you're reorganizing frequency. Creating space for wealth to feel welcomed, supported, anchored, and most importantly, safe. Because money doesn't just follow hustle, it follows respect. And when you respect where it lives, it begins to stay longer, circulate more freely, show up with less resistance. There's a reason many people who are good with money treat their wallets with reverence. It's not superstition, it's attention. And attention, especially quiet attention, is a form of magnetism. If your wallet has been living on your bed, or under your pillow, or buried under clothes or clutter, pause. Ask yourself, is this where I want my abundance to rest? In a space of disorder? In a place meant for dreaming, not doing? Then slowly, lovingly give it a new home, a better one. You might be surprised by how fast things shift, not just in your bank account, but in your body, in your sleep, in the way you hold your own value. Because the truth is, when wealth has no home, it doesn't stay. But when you give it one simple, clear, and rooted in intention, it not only stays, it grows. Quietly, steadily, like something that finally feels safe to unfold. Number 7. Dried or fake flowers. Beauty without breath. They're lovely, harmless, quiet. A small bouquet above the headboard, a vase on the dresser, a wreath near the nightstand made of dried lavender or silk roses. Some were gifts, others were chosen for their colors or how well they matched the room. No watering needed, no mess, just still beauty. But over time, even beauty, if it no longer breathes, can start to feel heavy. Especially in the one room meant to hold your healing. The bedroom is not a gallery, it is not a showroom. It is a living space, and your energy responds best to things that still carry life within them. That doesn't mean everything needs to be fresh, blooming, vibrant. But it does mean this: the energy around you at night should be soft, moving, capable of renewal. And dried or fake flowers, no matter how visually pleasing, carry the exact opposite vibration. They are the symbol of pause, of something that once was alive but is no longer. Something that was once in bloom but is now preserved, suspended, unmoving. In spiritual energy work, this stillness has a weight. Not dangerous, not dark, but still heavy. It gathers subtly. You may find yourself feeling uninspired, stuck in routine, unsure why your sleep feels foggy or your motivation dips for no clear reason. You wake up slower. You reach for your thoughts with more effort. You feel like you're floating through days instead of moving with intention. And often, you don't link that feeling back to the decor in the room. But energy always notices what the eyes have learned to ignore. Especially during sleep, when your body opens, your mind quiets, and your space becomes your emotional mirror. Flowers are powerful energy symbols. In nature, they represent cycles: blooming, falling, blooming again. But once they've dried or been manufactured into something synthetic, they stop participating in that cycle. They become frozen gestures of beauty, lovely to look at, but unmoving, unchanging, unliving. And when those symbols surround your bed, especially near the headboard or where your head rests, your subconscious absorbs that message: stay still, don't move, don't grow. You may think that sounds far-fetched, but energy is quiet. It speaks in texture, in scent, in weight. A room full of living elements, plants, soft fabrics, natural light feels different from one filled with artificial pieces. One breathes, one holds its breath. You've probably felt it before but didn't have the words. That slight sense of tension when you walk into a room that hasn't changed in years. That subtle emotional dullness when your eyes land on decorations that haven't moved, shifted, or refreshed since you first placed them. That's stagnation. And while it may be fine in a hallway or storage room, in your bedroom where your spirit goes to rest and realign, it becomes a quiet block. That doesn't mean you need to throw everything out. It means you begin choosing what belongs close to your body, your dreams, your healing. Dried or fake flowers can still live in your home, just not beside your soul. Move them to the living room, or better yet, store them behind glass separated energetically from the field where you sleep. Let them be memory, decoration, symbol, but not presence. If you truly love having flowers in your room, opt for fresh blooms when possible. One stem in a jar, a small bundle that lasts a few days, not for the look but for the life they carry. And when they begin to fade, let them go. Let that be part of the ritual, the letting go, the clearing out, the making space, because that movement, the small, seasonal change, tells your body that it's safe to keep growing. That nothing needs to stay stuck just to be beautiful. That even what fades still had purpose. If fresh flowers aren't realistic, consider other living energies: a small plant, an essential oil diffuser with citrus or rosemary, light cotton curtains that catch the breeze, things that move, things that breathe, things that remind your subconscious this space is alive, and so are you. And if you choose to keep a dried bouquet for sentimental reasons, give it a defined space, a memory box, a high shelf, somewhere that says, I remember but I'm not held back by what's gone. Because beauty should lift us, not anchor us, especially in the place where we're meant to rise. Tonight, take a soft look around your bedroom. Notice what has stayed in one place for too long. What no longer vibrates. What holds the energy of pause instead of possibility. Then ask gently, not out of guilt, but out of love: do I want this to witness my sleep? Or has it served its time? Energy will always answer. All it needs is your permission to move again. Finally, we often think of energy as something abstract, spiritual, invisible, maybe even optional. But when you live long enough, you start to feel its truth. Not in theories, in your body, in your sleep, in the quiet ache that doesn't come from effort, but from something softer, something off in the atmosphere around you. Every object you've placed near your bed has a voice, and it's been speaking to your nervous system, your emotions, your sense of safety even when you weren't listening. A phone buzzing in the dark, a bottle of pills whispering worry, a memory tucked into a pillow that still holds weight. None of these things are wrong, but when they sit in the wrong place, night after night, they begin to shape the rhythm of your life in ways you never meant. Your bed is not a shelf, it's not a catch-all, it's not a background to your busyness. It's the most intimate stage your energy knows, the one place where your soul opens without defense. And what surrounds you there matters. This isn't superstition, it's resonance. Biology and energy quietly shaking hands while you sleep, and you deserve to sleep in a space that reflects who you're becoming, not what you're holding on to. If you've made it to this point, thank you for staying, for listening, for being willing to reflect on things most people never even question. I know how easy it is to dismiss these details. Life moves fast. Habits feel harmless, but energy is patient, it waits. And the moment you shift the smallest thing, it responds. So tonight, may your bed feel lighter. May your room feel clearer. May your sleep carry no weight but your own breath, and may the things that no longer serve you quietly step aside. You are not too late to clear the space. You are not too far gone to invite beauty back in. You are allowed to rest in a space that truly knows how to hold you. Sleep well, wake light. And remember, the moment you honor your space begins to honor you.